Here's one of the newer channels I started watching about 3 or 4 months ago, Cash Bear Mama. And this channel is to help you figure out a way to get yourself out of debt, little at a time until you're out of debt. I had dug my way out of debt 15 years ago. It took me 3 years to pay all my debt off once I really committed myself to paying it off. It isn't as long as it sounds. It sounds like a long time, but 3 years goes really fast. And some of those bills I might have had 20 years. I paid off my credit cards one at a time and cut them up and never reopened anything. I found that you can live without credit cards. You can live without debt. You got to make a commitment that's what you want to do. And you've learned to save the money for big projects instead of going into debt to buy them. And I've already got out of debt, so it's hard for me to go share with you every step by step how to do it because I've already done it. I did it 15 years ago. And it feels really, really good. But if any of you are struggling and wanting to know what you could do a little at a time to get your way out of debt, go check out this channel. Like I said, I'm going to start using her as my co-hostess for my vacation fund. You know, I save $50 a week. That's $200 a month for vacation. For we can afford to go on a nice vacation without going into debt. But I want you to know there's people out there that are struggling and that can help you get out of debt. Just listen to them, make some commitments to yourself what you want to do, and just know there's people out there just like you. And you can get it. You can pay off your debt and have more money to spend and more money to enjoy your life. And you're going to be amazed that it isn't as bad and as hard as everyone makes it sound. I took the smallest bill I had, paid it off. All the money from the smallest bill went to the next smallest bill, and I paid that off. And I did that for 3 years. We didn't go out to eat. We didn't go out to movies. We really committed to paying those bills off, and we got out of debt. And then after that, we could start saving money for things we wanted to do, like go on vacation, like I'm doing now. I'm saving money for a new computer now. I'm doing all this without getting any credit, without having any bills. You can do it, but you need to get a little help and get someone that does it every single day, a little at a time, and show you it's possible. Go check out Cash Bear Mama and see what she has to say. Go check out a lot of her friends. Everyone saves a little differently. Everyone pays off their bills a little differently. And everything works. Just do something. You can do it, guys. I know you can. Now, let's go see what Grandma saved this year and this week and this month for her vacation. And here you can see I put $50 a week in. I've managed since the beginning of the year to put $610.25. I'm pretty proud of myself to keep moving along on these savings that I've been doing. Now keep in mind, I've always saved for vacation. I didn't save quite so consistently, but we've never went in debt for vacation, even when we had no money. We always saved our money for vacation because I always felt like vacations were something extra. They weren't something that we had to have, but we always took some kind of vacation every year, even when we didn't have money. It might have been a camping trip. We might have rented a house up at Big Bear. And I'll tell you a story about the Big Bear. I saw an ad in the paper for a house. Now keep in mind, this was a long time ago when my children were young. I think we got the house for $200, $250 a week. And we split it with somebody else also, so it wasn't even as much as I'm making it sound. It was a 3-bedroom house, and I went to work, and I was telling him, I rented a house in Big Bear, and I told him how much. And even back then, that was super cheap. They used to rent for at least $500, even, what would that have been? 30 years ago, 40 years ago. It was a long time ago because it's when my children were still young and now they're grandparents. And everyone laughed and said, well, there's no way you could have rent a house 3 bedrooms on the lake. And I said, well, that's what it said, and as long as it's got a roof and 4 walls, I'll be happy. So I went up and I paid for this house I rented, and we went up and rented it. And it was just like the lady said. Of course, the lake was across the street, but it still was on the lake. And because we were renting right there on the lake area, there was a place where the kids could go out and fish off of if you were renting on the lake. And we could see the kids from the front porch of the house. And it was 3 bedrooms, like she said. And it was a very nice, it was an older cabin, but it was still nice, well maintained. And when I took the pictures back to work and showed everybody how nice that cabin was, their mouths fell out. They couldn't believe that I got it so cheap. So, don't scoff at people. I rented that house because I could afford that house. And even if it hadn't been the way the lady explained it, what it's going to be, I still would have probably been happy because I could afford it. But I was really happy when I could take those pictures to work and show them how nice it was. Now, another thing we used to do, and we haven't done it in a while because it's been sold now, for 3 years we rented a cabin, 8-bedroom cabin up in Crestline. And this is when my kids were raised and they were grown, and we would share it together. And so we went, there would be like 5 people paying for it. Or 4 people, I don't know, and at least 4 people paying. And we got it for like I think $1,000 for the week. But still, that's cheap. And for such a big house. And it was just like they said too. So there is beautiful property out there. People bought years ago, they have it paid off, and they just want to have it rented so they can make extra money. And if you're lucky enough to find one of those people, rent it. If it's not even as nice as maybe you'd like, but it's still livable, still rent it. At least you're getting out of the house and you can afford a nice vacation. Well, I just wanted to tell you, vacations are important, and we've had some great vacations. We've rented a lot of nice houses. We just went back in October. Rented a house at the beach, and that was really nice too. I had pictures of that. If you want to go back and look at some of my posts in October and November, they're probably up there. But vacations are important, and I don't go in debt for them, and I never have. You can go on a nice cruise. They have payment plans. You can pay for it over 9 months to 12 months. So don't feel like you got to go in debt. You don't have to. You can afford to go. Make sure you go. Enjoy it. We only go through life once. Don't save all your money till the end and you're dead and you can't enjoy it. Don't do that either. But do save some, like we're doing. Well, we'll have another hopefully nice chit-chat soon. And I'll show you what I've got next month to save.